Hey kids, Inverted Cow here. Welcome back to Space Engineers. Um, I was going to do a little bit of digging and fixing up on the old uh, asteroid here, but I ran into a bit of a problem. Um, I went to start up the old mining ship and realized that a meteorite had actually impacted right here. Um, Basically right where this big hole is right now. It completely encased this gun turret that I had here in stone, and the entire forward part of the drill was encased in stone. I actually had to do was chip it out, and as you can see by the skeletal drills, literally dig or grind down and replace the drills um, to get this opened up. So what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to weld those up and fire up this drill and get it out of that hole. And I can't just fly it backwards anymore because I've got this deck that I'm in the middle of building. Um, as you can see, I haven't really progressed a whole heck of a lot since the last episode. I'm still welding plates like mad, basically as fast as I can build them. But I've taken to playing another game for a while because I've gotten really, really annoyed after the last update with the fact that I have to almost be in direct contact with whatever I'm welding to actually weld. And it's one of those issues that has really annoyed a lot of people from what I'm reading on the forums. It's not just me that's annoyed with this. It's a lot of people. Um, so I do invite you to come and play Empyreon or join with me on that as I play it and muddle my way around it. It's very similar to Space Engineers. Um, the building on it is substantially better, and it is still a pre-alpha or early alpha game. That's where I'm actually hanging out. That's the other series I'm running on the channel right now. Um, I am going to continue with Space Engineers to some degree, but honestly, I'm not going to do a lot of recording between now and when they fix the welders. So probably be the next 2 or 3 weeks you'll see a real decline in the number of Space Engineers that have been put out. I was trying to do was get 2 or 3 episodes a week, and it's probably going to end up becoming 1 or 2 episodes for the next couple weeks until they get the next update released. So let's get into seeing if we can fix this drill ship here. I also not too keen on the changes they made to the graphics on the drills or the welders here. They've become almost impossible to actually look at because you can't see through them. Before you could actually see through to some degree. So I'm going to have a go at trying to fix this up a bit. I mean, ship welding is still faster than doing it by hand, unless you want to go and take the time to make ultra elite welders and such. But the fact that you can't weld without getting almost directly in contact with, is very annoying. Come on, rotate. Rotate, please, for me. Alright, and go down slightly. I noticed that a lot of times this ship refuses to turn or rotate or do any maneuvers unless I'm actually thrusting in another direction or a similar direction to begin with. I want to see if I can get these things from the back side here and not have to fly around the front and weld them all up. See, ordinarily I'd be able to just fly up here and weld essentially all 4 of these welders or these drills, but as you can see, I've got to be almost on top of it, and now it's not welding. I've got the parts. Come on, don't do me this. You've got the parts. Okay, for some reason the ship has decided it does not have the parts to weld. Again. Let's see if I can squeeze into here. I know it's only 2 squares, but we'll see. No, okay, I might have to do those last couple by hand. Now, according to Keen, the whole reason that they messed up the welders was because people are stupid and don't know how to push a button and turn them off prior to working around them. I understand that. I mean, you know, as you can see, my health is at 70%, and, well, you know, I hit the ground too hard, or I happened to fly in front of the drills when they were running, or something like that. And yeah, you take damage. I mean, it's like real life. I mean, honestly, real life, you would not go and fly in front of welders or walk in front of welders that are on, or walk in front of anything, any piece of equipment that was running, including, say, large heavy drills. Okay, why? What the heck? Most of these should have had all of the stuff in them that they needed, and everything else should have been put in the welding ship here. Alright, what's going on? Did I fly past something that had sucked up all my steel plates? That's almost what it looks like, eh? I must have gotten too close to somebody who needed steel plates. Okay, let's go grab a bunch. Now, I am kind of curious. I know that they've changed a lot of other things, but I do want to try to see if I can start working on building a gravity drive into this ship as well. All right, I'll take as many of those as we can carry. And that requires basically a lot of mass blocks and gravity generators. I'm still looking into how that functions, but that's something I really want to start looking at putting on. But I'd like to actually get the whole, the majority of the hull built, if not built, at least laid out, which is part of the reason why I was trying to get the drill functioning this morning. Seriously. All right, let me go fill that weld ship up, and I'll be right back when I get this thing, the rest of this mining ship fixed. All right, we just finished welding that stuff up. I'll show you part of the reason why I want to free this or dig this out a little bit here. Oh, there's a steel plate floating in midair. Let me pick that up. These pesky little meteor strikes here. You see I'm missing a window pane. This is probably the second time I've had to replace this one. And the ship's taken another one on the chin here, and another one through the underbelly of the main bridge. Thankfully, this one missed anything vital. It just basically impacted here, but it didn't damage anything else. But as you can see, I can't have meteor impacts ripping the ship apart while it's still in dry dock. I mean, I haven't even gotten drive bays on or maneuvering. I barely got maneuvering thrusters on. Half of them are still unassembled. So yeah, I need to pull this thing back further into this dry dock, and I want to open it up a little bit over here. But I figured today I would just show a little bit of the fun of space engineers, where you're constantly fixing stuff. So let's see here. We will unlock and turn on thrusters. Come on, up, 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 up. And turn on drills. Oops. Stay from the outside view. Thankfully, the alt view is working again. Apparently what it was is it was something to do with the way the upload had went in, and you just had to turn it off and turn it back on again a couple of times, basically reload the game, and it cleared it up. But as you can see, we're already drilling here, so we're going to turn off inertia dampeners and give ourselves 4.4 meters of forward thrust and let that just go. I find that with that much forward thrust, I could literally almost walk away, go do something else, come back, and the drill ship will have basically just continued moving. However, it does tend to track a little bit to one side or the other depending on how much stuff it's digging through. And for some reason, meteor impacts always seem to be harder to dig than regular stone. Come on, drill. Oh, I'm caught on one of these stupid invisible... Sorry. I seem to be caught on an invisible piece that is invincible invisible. This is something else that I've noticed has been happening a lot. One part of the drill ship is not digging. No matter what I'm doing, it doesn't want to dig through one stone somewhere. It's just a voxel someplace that's being stubborn. So we're just going to come up slightly. We'll turn on dampeners for a second. And we'll try this again. We'll go forward. Nose up slightly and go forward. Yeah, you see how there's a couple that are right there by where the drills are impacting right now. It does that sometimes for no reason. It just builds or has blocks that the drills will not destroy. And you just have to sit there and kind of play with it a little bit. So I'm going to pause for a bit. I'm going to let this drill do its work, and I'm going to see if I can hollow out some space here. And again, I will be back when I'm done. All right, kids, we have tunneled out around the ship a little bit more. I widened this one wall out by a couple of passes. I've moved both the welder and the factory ships down and let the drill ship run kind of back a little bit. I turned the power off on the drill ship and it's still ejecting stone. So obviously there's something glitched, because when you turn the power off, all the conveyors should have shut down, the ejectors should have shut down, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, way to go, Space Engineers. There's another bug for you to figure out why. Or it's not a bug, it's a feature. There's another feature of Space Engineers. So I want to attempt to see if I can turn this back into a dynamic grid without crashing the system and actually move this ship back slightly. So what we're going to do is we're going to load in the cockpit here, and we're going to go information, convert to ship. Close this. Now we're just going to push the Alt button and scroll back slightly so we can see. Now I have no downward thrusters, so I cannot go down at all, because if I try and thrust down, all I'm going to do is smash into stuff. And all I want to do is just kind of drift this back. I've got no lateral thrusters, so I can't go side to side. I can only go straight back. So I just want to do is see if I can find the back of the ship here. And I just want to come back just a scooch. I wish you didn't have to be locked onto the cockpit to see what you were looking at. It's like the center point of focus is the player on the cockpit, which really makes it almost impossible to see what you're looking at when you're trying to see down a side or a plane of the ship. I mean, free look should be free look. You should basically be able to see completely around yourself. I don't know, am I coming too close to that wall, or is it just three-dimensional space on a two-dimensional screen, right? Okay. Here we go. That should have moved us back somewhat. Now, as you can see, this dry dock, this asteroid that I started in here, is slowly turning into just a complete thing of stone Swiss cheese, for lack of a better term. It's basically ground out, hollowed out, and I've punched through the outer side of it a few times now. Okay, let's see if I can see just a little bit more. Back just a wee bit here. Let's have a look and see exactly how far back we are. Of course, I'd love it if they would ever make it so that when you get out of a pilot seat or a chair or a cockpit or something, you'd actually, you know, be standing in a vertical position rather than just randomly tossed into space in whichever direction you feel like. Okay, we can come back just a couple more scooches here. Now we're just pushing with one pair of large thrusters. Like that's all I have for thrust going backwards right now. So this will change, of course, once I do some more construction on the main hull here, in the main ship. Okay, we're almost to the point where we're bumping into the stones here. There we go. That should be good. Okay. Now I bring up control panel, and I want to bring up thrusters. HRUS. Large hydrogen thrusters. Toggle block off. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Those look off to you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, try that again. Toggle block off. There we go. And now let's take all the other thrusters. And we'll toggle those off. Now that's everything should be off, but you know how it is, it never is. And then we'll bring out control and info and convert back to station. All right. The reason I convert it to station is it becomes a static grid rather than a dynamic grid. Puts a little bit less strain on the old computer there as it tries to process the station, because then it doesn't have to think about everything moving as well. So now I'm going to go back to welding. I'm going to try and finish welding up some of that hull that I built the other day, and I want to see if I can actually start mirroring a little bit of the landing bay on the opposite side. I'm waiting to see if they repair the welder dynamic, because this space here was left for the launching of decoys and space mines and other player-based weaponry, which don't work at all when the welder has to literally be part of the ship. Like, you have to have it almost literally inside the ship, and the range has to be practically less than 3 blocks. That's 3 small blocks from a main welder. It's really very revolting. But I mean, that's keen, right? I mean, something works, let's change it. How close to this did I get? You almost think I knew what I was doing when I'm driving these ships around, eh? I'm going to say thanks all for watching, kids, and good night for now.